Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slam's Fist Fact, Episode 3. I am one of your two hosts, Brandon, and I am very happy to introduce the Frodo Baggins to my Samwise Gamgee, the R2-D2 to my C3PO, and the best one yet, the Dumbledore to my Professor McGonagall, my co-host, Rick. Hey, Rick.
Hey, y'all.
I told Rick I got really nerdy with the intros today, and I did.
And I love it.
I did. For everybody, actually, Rick, I'll let you describe to the people that are listening and not watching this on YouTube what I am wearing currently.
My lovely co-host Brandon here has a state-of-the-art Hogwarts robe with a freshly embroidered Ravenclaw logo and a beautiful inseam of that raven blue.
Yes.
And it is hilarious because he's also wearing his hood up under his headphones.
Yep.
Just burn that image into your head real quick.
Yeah, it looks really good, especially the fact that you know that the lower half of my body has athletic shorts and slippers on right now.
Just like I would if I was a wizard.
Yeah,
Yep.
duh. If I'm a wizard, I'm not caring what I wear to anyone at all. We'll get a little bit more into my outfit of choice later on in the episode, but let's start everything off right from our lovely listener, Kelly McGillicuddy out there. Rick, what are you drinking?
Got me a nice red Big Cola
Ooh,
from our sponsors at Big Cola.
Big Cola. Rick's drinking a Big Cola. I am drinking yet again another ginger ale because I'm fucking obsessed with these things. Love me some ginger ale. But I'm drinking it out of a Guinness glass because I didn't put any in the fridge last night. And the Guinness glass is the only glass I have clean in my house right now. So there's it looks like a light beer if you hold it from like this angle with the light, with ice in it.
That's terrifying, but yes.
So, Guinness, just another thing we'll talk about in a little bit for all of you people that aren't getting a hint yet. Uh, but anyway, it's good to have everybody here listening. Thank you for all the lovely support of episodes 1 and 2. They skyrocketed and got I don't know how many views, but it was awesome. And got some comments on some quality sound issues that we had to go. Hopefully that's fixed for you because Rick found the microphone that actually is a microphone and not a Xbox headset.
Gaming headset.
Yeah, not a gaming headset. So Rick sounds somewhat decent. I said he sounds fine earlier, and he got mad that I just said fine and not like another word because he sounded, in my definition, he sounded fine. Like he sounded like Rick, but
I made him give me a 1 to 10.
But apparently, fine was not good enough for Rick. But without further ado, let's get the podcast started with my favorite thing of the entire show, This Week's in History. Rick, I will let you go first.
Okay, starting off in chronological order here, because why not? October 21st, 1872, John H. Conyers was the first African American accepted to the U.S. Naval Academy.
Yes. He was a seaman. Twice in his life now.
That beautiful joke from my co-host. Go ahead and tell us what your This Week in History.
Well, I have one that I feel like everybody listening to can probably be not thankful for. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there because it has to do with, so it happens on the 24th of October, so in a couple days, in 1940. Because of something that happened in 1938, so this is like a double Danzy doozer. In 1938, the American government signed in the U.S. Fair Labor and Standards Act. What does that mean? Well, everyone, glad you asked. It means it established the 40-hour work week. Now, some people might be happy about it because that way, like over 40 hours, you shouldn't go or get paid overtime. But the people back then were probably really happy that it was established because they didn't have to work in like 90 hours a week in like a coal mine or something anymore. But for all of us now that a lot of people work from home and you can get your work done in about 20 hours, this still sucks though. But not me, luckily. I work from not home half the time.
30 hours.
Yeah. Could have made it 30 hours with 3-day weekends or something. Thanks a lot, guys. What's your next one, Richard?
Mine also happens to be in 1940. So October 23rd, 1940.
Ooh, one day before.
Pele was born.
Yeah.
Woo! Haven't done a birthday in a while, so I just wanted to throw that out there. And Pele's awesome. Who doesn't love him?
Yeah.
One of the most recognizable football players in the entire world, and one of the best ever. So, yeah, happy birthday coming up this week to Mr. Pele.
Yeah. For everybody that doesn't know, the podcast that doesn't exist that came out last year that we have, we did a lot of birthdays and whatnot. And like Rick said, he hasn't done one in a long time since last week when he shouted out his wife happy birthday on This Week in History. So, you know,
that's super valid.
Been a whole 7 days since Rick said a birthday This Week in History. So that's a good one. All right. So now on the 23rd, I love how we went like, you know what? I was going to say, I love how our days were so close together, but we're only picking from 7 freaking days. So on October 23rd, 1993, a man by the name of Joe Carter, he lived every little baseball boy's sports dream. He hit a walk-off home run for the Toronto Blue Jays to beat the Philadelphia Phillies in the 93 World Series. And if you've never seen that video, just Google Joe Carter walk-off home run. It was in Game 6. He's up the plate. They're down 1. He hits a 3-run home run to walk off to win in Toronto. That man, I don't know how old he was, probably, 30, 31 years old, whatever like the average baseball sports player age was back then. And he ran around those bases, jumping and skipping, arms up in the air like he was, 10 years old again. Like, if you play baseball and you love baseball, every little kid dreams of hitting a walk-off home run to win some sort of championship. And he got to do it on the biggest stage for baseball. And that's awesome. And the coolest thing about it was, today, I guess I picked 2 double doozies. Today in history, in 1992, the Blue Jays won their first of 2 World Series. So 93 was their second. So they went back to back 1 year apart, which was awesome. But Joe Carter, I love you because I love watching that video, and I dreamed of doing that. And I did, but not for a championship. I hit a walk-off home run one time. Wasn't for a championship. It was to go to a championship, which not as cool, but still, you get to live that dream, and it's freaking awesome.
I bet.
Yeah, it's fun. Any more for you, my good fellow sir?
That's all I got.
Good,
this
upstanding,
history,
40-hour work week American. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm gonna go back in time and establish the 30-hour, 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend on holiday work week. But
yes, please do.
Yeah, time travel.
You should do with a time machine.
Yeah, time travel will be talked about eventually on this channel, but we don't have that much time today, so we won't get it into you. All right, so our lovely current events that we've been talking about. We've talked about the first week, me wanting to move to the Amazon rainforest. Check it out. Last week we talked about the moon pretty much conducting Armageddon onto the little moon on Jupiter. They're sending the loop-de-loop space shuttle out there when they could have just gone straight and probably got there quicker, but
Nope.
Who knows how the gravity in space works besides you float on some planets and you get crushed on others. So this week we're going to talk about a lovely current event, is why I'm wearing what I am. So I have my Hogwarts robe on. Yeah. Yeah, well, my glasses. Let me just go ahead and throw those bad boys on real quick. For all of you who don't know, we're going to shout out our first sponsor is Pair Eyewear. Pair Eyewear, you can buy it at paireyewear.com, and they have little magnets that you can put on your glasses, which is really cool. I'll throw my Ravenclaw glasses on for this. Yeah, oh, I'm a nerd, bro. I got you. It's got the little symbols in the corners too, the little crest. So because of something that happened in the late 80s, early 90s, the first Great Wizarding War, all of those people did not get accepted their acceptance letters into Hogwarts. They lived in Muggle families. So I finally petitioned and applied and got mine. So I'm wearing my robe. I have my lovely acceptance letter right here. I have my map of Hogsmeade that I can look at to where I can find all the best little pubs to go to. And it's a cool little double doozy map. If I pull it out on the other side, it's Diagon Alley, so I know where to buy my wand. But I don't need it because I have a wand holder in my robe that I am holding my wand. And I'm going to Europe, and I'm going to become a wizard. And Rick, I don't think is breathing right now because he did not expect the wand to come out of the robe
or the map, to be honest.
And I'm drinking out.
You should have just started with "This is butterbeer" out of a Guinness glass.
But so anyway, I'm going to Ireland and the UK next week, and also Halloween's next week, and this is what I'm dressing up as. But yes, so I'm going to Ireland, and I guess Ireland is the UK. 50% kind of don't want to be, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. That'll be a new, different podcast. That's long. That's more than an hour that we can talk about here. But I'm going to Ireland, and specifically Doolin in Ireland, which is a really small little town of probably like 500 people. It's amazing. And then I'm going to London, which is the exact opposite, a small little town of about 8 million people. So get to see the two worlds of that. The reason I'm going is I'm not telling any of you because you don't need to. I'm just kidding. Anyway, going on vacation with my wife. She's already been over there for a couple weeks for school. So going to visit her to finish supporting her schoolwork. And then we're going to make a trip out of it. For all of you that don't know, that's where we got engaged a few years ago. And we're going back to visit that site, do a fun little professional photo shoot there. So that'll be lovely and interesting. But more importantly, beer. All right. I know that I told y'all on the podcast one, I'm not drinking beer, and I'm keeping to that. The one caveat is next week. Next week, I am going to try every amazingly lovely, stouty, pure, foamy goodness of Irish and what is it, UKian?
I think London, you can just say England.
Or like British, the correct words.
British.
British beer. So
British.
Clearly I'll have some Guinness, which is great. And more importantly, I'll throw this argument out there. Everybody always says, oh, the Guinness in Ireland tastes different than America. Speaking from firsthand tasting, it definitely does. It tastes a lot better, probably because it doesn't have to travel halfway across the world. Or they might make it here. I'm not sure. I don't care. It tastes better. It's more refreshing. And then, lucky enough, if you follow us on Instagram at SlamsFistFact, I'll probably be posting stories of me trying to split the G while I'm up there, which will be very interesting. And I know I can do it. My problem is I have to stop at the G. And I'm going to want to keep going.
Just long enough to snap the photo. That's
Exactly. What are your thoughts on Guinness, though? Do you like it?
The most apt description I feel resonates is my dad always told me it's a steak in a glass. It's a very, very heavy, very filling beer.
Right.
In the right environment, winter, you want something hearty. to really start your night off with, I can enjoy one. It's not a all the time thing for me for sure. I kind of don't do a lot of stouts or porters when I drink, but it's not bad. I would never claim Guinness is bad. I would just say it can be poured poorly.
That's very true. For all of you who don't know, one, I also have a document that I am a certified Guinness pourer. I could go pull it out, but we'll save that for next episode because I'm gonna go get a new one when I go.
Gonna go research.
Yeah, I gotta go research. That's the whole reason we're going to Ireland is I gotta recertify my Guinness pouring certificate. For all of you who don't know, so everybody that's watching, when you pour a Guinness, you have to pour it in a Guinness glass. This is a Guinness glass. May have stole it from the Guinness factory. I don't know. You want to
Not sure how it got here.
You'll take it, pour it sideways like normal until it fills up to about halfway up this harp, and then you stop and you sit it down. Guinness is not a beer; it is a art form. This is how I'll describe it. It is an art form, right? It is also very heavy, but that's okay. Then you wait. You let all those nitrogen, because Guinness is made with nitrogen, not regular CO2. You let all that nitrogen go to the bottom because your Guinness is going to be really brown to start off with, and it's going to turn that black color. When you turn that black color, you hold the glass straight up, and funny enough, Guinness handles pour both ways. Instead of pulling it backwards down again, you push it towards, or you push it away from you, and then you fill the rest up with that lovely frothy, voluptuous, new word of the day, voluptuous foam. And it's great. Now, all that being said, we think of Ireland with Guinness, right? There's a better stout in Ireland that I tried last time I was there, and I can't wait to have it again. I think it is a British beer. I can't remember. I'll have to look on Untapped. Sponsor us. Called Beamish. It is very good. It's not as heavy as a Guinness, but it tastes just as good. So maybe that's why I liked it, because I could drink more of them. But I feel like the taste was better. But
well, like what I'm trying to say, like it's one of those things where like you wouldn't have beef stew at 5 o'clock in the afternoon in July, right?
Talking to the wrong man. I love me some beefy stew, boy.
My point is, like, there's a time and a mood for every type of thing you can consume. And so, like I said, like, you know, you're talking about a little bit colder weather.
Yeah.
The beginning of the night when you don't have a lot of stuff in your stomach. It absolutely can be enjoyable.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If you're Irish, makes sense. Adds up.
Yeah, like I said, I looked in like the weather, right? You speak of like, you know, nobody's wants to drink a stout on like a hot day. Nobody's going to drink hot chocolate. You want a cold winter evening to drink hot chocolate, right? You don't want it on July 4th to celebrate. That's when you were going to throw a Miller latte in your hand and we're going to beer bong it, right? But like the high there, when I go, I think I look for the high week. The highest day is going to be like 59 degrees. It's the perfect, heartier, lovely beer drinking, beef stew eating weather. It's going to be beautiful. But yeah, so super excited for the beer. There's also a beer called Carlsberg that is like, it's like a Pilsner and it's amazing. So super excited for that.
I enjoy Pilsners a lot more regularly.
Yeah, for sure. And then the first couple of days we're at the Cliffs of Moher. If y'all know what that is, they're giant cliffs. And
there's more of them.
Yeah. The scenes are beautiful. Harry Potter was filmed there. Fun fact, if anybody knows what movie and what scene was filmed there, I'll send you a Slam's Fist Fact koozie that if you peep it right here, it's up in the corner of my screen. Rick can't answer because Rick didn't read the books, so he can't answer about the movies, and that is a fact. But they walled off the Cliffs of Moher, so like Amy and I got engaged there, and like where we got engaged was like 10 feet from, you know, the drop. they walled all that off during COVID because too many people were getting close to the edge and falling and not living. So, because I mean, the cliffs are high; they're a good 200, 300, 400 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's a good way to unalive yourself right there.
Yeah.
But majestic views.
Yeah,
most of my views are Google Earth and or beautiful Brandon and Amy engagement photos, and they are massive.
Yeah, but the cool thing is with the photographer that we're doing, like we bought a photographer, like she's gonna take good professional photos. It's not like I'm gonna walk up to Sally Duhannon on the corner and be like, "Hey, will you take our picture?" She knows the people that own the farm that are near the cliffs, and they didn't gate their yard because nobody goes up there, and we have to pay them like €10, and they'll let us take pictures on their property instead. So there goes 10 easy euros to say yes to that, so we can get some good views.
Support your local economy.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because Doolin, I don't know. I'm actually going to Google how many people Doolin has right now. I said 500. That might be overstating. It is overstating. Doolin is a small town
387
with a population of just over 300. So 387 might be pushing it on the limit. I think of just over 300, 320 and less.
Yeah,
that's about what I would do it. But apparently it's beautiful. Super excited to go to it. And then we go to pretend Hogwarts, because Hogwarts is technically in Scotland for all you bookworms out there. But you gotta we go to London a couple days after that, and we're going to the Harry Potter studio tour, which I'm old, Rick likes to say. Rick actually hasn't made a joke of my age yet on this podcast, and we're 3 episodes in, so we're doing pretty solid on that.
It's coming.
But Rick calls me Grandpa. Peepaw. But we're going to the Harry Potter studio tour, which I'm going to be like a 11-year-old kid again. That's going to be so cool. I'll stay in there for an entire day. I don't care. We had to buy tickets for this like 5 months ago to be able to book tickets when we go. So that'll be cool.
The advantages include the fact he is much larger than the other 11-year-olds that will be there.
And I can
so
beat
he will
them
shove
up.
Himself.
Yes,
he will shove himself to the front of line.
I will be like if I go into Ollivanders and I don't get picked for the wand to find me, there are going to be problems. I already didn't get picked at Universal's Harry Potter World. I don't get picked for this one, I'm going to be upset. And then we do something that I've only done once, and funny enough, it was to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. We're going to go to a Broadway show. And I am seeing arguably one of the most hyped Broadway shows ever, which is, have I told you already, Rick?
No, you haven't told me what show you're going to.
So what do you think it is? One of the most hyped Broadway shows ever. All the Broadway shows that you feel are in New York, like even the ones that also you could, like Phantom of the Opera still in London, you know, Hamilton, Lion King, all of those are all over there. So which Broadway show am I going to go see?
Most hyped.
For all you people, that's a great guess. I'm going to see Wicked.
That was my second guess. I almost said give me 2 because I was really close to saying Wicked.
So, you know, Wicked comes out in theaters in like a month, like right when I get back. And Amy was like, hey, do you want to go see this? And I'm like, it's just a preamble to The Wizard of Oz. Glinda's good. Elphaba ends up being the Wicked Witch of the West, right? Spoilers. If you haven't seen it, it came out in like 1933. Sorry if we spoiled it almost 100 years later. 90 years, 91 years.
You would know, people.
I was alive.
Went to the premiere of that.
But we're going to see Wicked, so I think that'll be really cool. I told her I wanted to see the show, at least like a recording of the show, like Hamilton was on Netflix, before I go see the movie. But now I get to go see it in person, so that's awesome. I bought tickets yesterday for all you lovely history buffs that are like me and love the This Week's in History. I'm going to see Winston Churchill's war rooms that haven't been touched since the 40s. And that'll be awesome. I don't know if I'll be more like a kid in a candy shop in Harry Potter world, or in stepping back in time in World War II. Like, I don't know. I don't know the correct answer to that. Side note, because I know they listen to, we all play a fantasy football game together. Me, Rick, and a couple of my our other buddies. My uncle and my brothers are in this league. I'm losing to my uncle by like 11, right? They're going to have an average game by Chris Godwin. He just goes, "Can we all wish Chris Godwin a shit game tonight?" And so, fuck you, first off. Just going to throw it out there. Sorry, Dale. I know you're listening and you don't like that language, but just got to throw it out there. And also, Dakota, double F you because you liked the message. Okay? I need to beat my uncle. He beat me 3 times when we played last year together. I have to beat him at least one time this year.
I'm beating, I think, Austin right now pretty good. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, so that'll be good.
Get my win streak back on track.
Rick and I are not in the top half of this league, just to throw that out there. Rick might be. Rick
do another podcast against that, too.
Rick might be like 5th, but...
I am 5th.
There you go.
I shouldn't be.
Yeah. And then my most excited thing that we could talk about a little bit before we get into our top 5 is, clearly I'm a huge Man United fan. Didn't know if you could tell by the 5 flags or the 5 scarves that I have hanging up behind me.
No, I pegged you as a Chelsea fan.
Yeah. That caught me off guard. I didn't even know what to say to that because I hate them so much. But I get to go.
Tom.
We bought tickets to a European soccer game. Wanted to see Man U play.
It's gonna be awesome.
Couldn't, because just where they were in the UK versus where we were being based out of London. Couldn't go see them. The only time we could go see them was on Saturday up in Manchester. But like Saturday's our last day there, so like we want to spend it around London, you know. So I'm going to a Carabao Cup game, which, if y'all don't know what that is, that's the top 3 English leagues. So the Premier League, the Championship, and League One, they play, and they get to go. Cool thing about it is it's a round of 16 game. So there's only 16 teams left in this tournament. So we're going to see Brentford, the Brentford Bees, who we beat this past weekend. So little icing on the cake there. We beat them 2-1. But they'll be cool to see. They have a small stadium. 17,000 people can only fit in the stadium. So it's like a small, compared to like Old Trafford fits like 73,000 or something. So 17,000 people, and me and Amy are going to be 2 of them. The cool thing about the Carabao Cup game is it's not a game put on by the EFL. It's put on by something else. Or not put on by the Premier League. It's put on by the EFL. Premier League games, you're not allowed to drink alcohol in the stands. You can't be in view of the pitch to drink alcohol. EFL doesn't give a shit. So these fans are going to be rowdy. I'm going to get the full UK soccer experience with this. Round of 16, winning a cup, winning some silverware. And they play Sheffield Wednesday, and we're going to go see them on Tuesday. So it'll be cool. Fun little,
That'd be awesome,
yeah, fun little joke for all you Ted Lasso people out there if you get the Sheffield Wednesday joke. So, yeah, but it'll be fun. It'll be super exciting, and I'm ready for it. If any of you that are listening have been to London, comment on this video. You can comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now, or you can leave a review and then comment, which would be even cooler. Just remember to give us those 5 stars. And if you've been to London before and you found something cool to do, let me know. I'm all up to ideas. Everything I just said that's in London, those 3 things, the game, Wicked, Harry Potter Tour, or 4, and Churchill, we're doing those in 3 days. And we have plenty of time to do other things. It's because we're there for a week. So throw us out some ideas, throw us out to do. Clearly, we're going to do all the touristy stuff, see Buckingham Palace, the changing of the guard, go to the Tower of London. Amy wants to do the Sky Wheel. I'm not huge on heights, but I will do it. That's okay. Things like that. But, I mean, you got any cool little James Bondy things to do, let me know. But, yeah, anything to add to that? I feel like I ran it a lot there, but it's a cool thing to talk about because traveling's fun. You don't get to, when you get to travel, you don't get to do it. You don't get to do it much. We'll have a current event later on at the end of November of Rick and his wife going to lovely Iceland. So
Yep.
that'll be a lot of fun to talk about too. But in other words, Rick, what's next?
Ooh, Brandon, we have an exciting top five for you today.
Here we go. I'm ready. Oh,
Something-
let me get my score book. We're keeping track. We're going to add it up at the end of the year and see. So the scores right now, we have done week 1 top 5 was top 5 rom-coms. Rick gave that to me. Week 2 was top 5 war grossing movies. I gave that to Rick.
And the score that I recall was 5-2, but we have a fun one today that is something that is near and dear to Brandon's heart, and that is coffee.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, so this admittedly was a little tricky for me to know how hard to make it for Brandon, because those of you that don't know, Brandon subscribes, or at least used to subscribe, to a coffee care package.
I still do.
Delivered him coffee from all over the world. So his knowledge is at least a little bit more than your average coffee.
Listen, I can walk into your house right now and show you 4 different ways to make coffee with the shit that you have in your house. If you have a Keurig, I'll show you 6. So
that's beautiful. I would love to see you make it out of big cola and ramen noodles.
I got you.
So, so we have the 5 most expensive coffee beans by pound. Now I'm going to give you 2 ways that we can run this. Okay?
Okay.
I can name the coffee, and you have to give me the country. Or you can just try your hand at guessing the coffees.
Dude, I don't know any of these. I think I know.
Do you want to do the by country? I'll give you the name.
Are they 5 different countries? Can I ask that before I look?
Yes, they are. And then I want your hands above the keyboard. No quick typing, mister.
I'm not gonna quick type. I'll. So you're gonna give me the name of the coffee and I guess the country.
Yep, the country of origin, please.
Or I could just guess the coffee.
If you can guess the top 5 coffees, I will give you a bonus point in this competition.
I'll guess the countries.
Okay.
No, I don't know because I feel like I know 2. I feel like I know 2. And I know the countries of both of those. But I don't know if this is right at all. And next week when we record, you're getting a bullshit one. I can tell you that right now. All right.
Coffee.
I do love coffee, but dude, my coffee subscription's not giving me a $300 freaking dollar a pound coffee. They're probably giving me $30.
That's so cute that you think that's the high end.
It's not.
Okay. And without further ado, we're gonna get this rolling. Ready?
Okay.
Your first coffee is called the Black Ivory coffee, and it sells for $1,000 a pound in the bean form. What country exports the Black Ivory coffee?
Well, ivory sounds African or Asian, technically.
This is number 1. This is the most expensive.
Oh, this is the most expensive. Do you have the 6?
I'm just going to give you that tidbit to start. I'm not going to keep telling you. I'm just going to give you that.
This is the most expensive. How much is it a
I'd
pound?
hope so. For $1,000 per pound of beans.
Black Ivory. Where would Black Ivory be from? Ethiopia.
Thailand.
Damn it, dude.
Another country that loves elephants.
The only other one.
The only other one.
Okay. Second, I'm ready.
The Kopi Luwak.
How much is it?
$160 a pound. I'm just gonna start jumping around the list, so can't let you get too comfortable.
Indonesia.
That is correct.
Boom, motherfucker! That was a guess completely. Alrighty.
The Kopi Luwak is famous for being expensive. Similar to the black ivory coffee, it's actually partially so expensive because these are partially digested coffee beans they feed to animals and then use to brew coffee. Some consider it gross, some consider it a delicacy. Okay. Hacienda La Esmeralda.
Okay, so it's a Spanish-speaking country.
I don't know.
Brazil.
Panama.
Damn it, dude. Damn
Actually, the whole name of the coffee is Hacienda La Esmeralda Panama, and I figured I had to take that part out.
Yeah, that's kind of like if so I'll go after because I don't want to ruin it. Okay. So I'm 1 for 3 right now.
Mm-hmm. Ospina Dynasty.
Hospina or Ospina?
Ospina. Oh.
Ospina. Could be Spanish. Could be anything African, honestly. I also would love to know where you got this list from when we're done because I want to read up on these. Ospina.
Ospina Dynasty.
Dynasty?
That is in the name, yes.
5 different countries. We've guessed Panama, Thailand, and Indonesia. I'm going to go with my gut again, and it's going to be for 2 guesses in a row. I'm going to guess Brazil.
Colombia.
Damn it, dude.
I really thought you might guess Colombia just out of, like, Colombian coffee.
I mean, Colombian, yeah. Damn it. This is the last one.
Oh, there's one more.
No, I'm saying this one that you're about to say.
Oh, yes. The Santa Ana. Or Santa Ana.
Okay, well, clearly that was one of Columbus's ships. He sailed from Spain, but Columbus was Italian. So that doesn't fucking help at all.
You just...
What?
I'm just picturing you being like the Always Sunny meme when the guy is
when he's
in all the bins. Columbus's ship, Spain, Italian,
I'm going to go Italy.
El Salvador. So just to kind of cap out this list, he got 1 out of 5. This was incredibly difficult. I know that. I just wanted to go with coffee and had to make it interesting. To give a quick back rundown, the black ivory coffee out of Thailand is $1,000 a pound for these beans. The Hacienda La Esmeralda Panama is $350 a pound. So there's a huge drop off. I'll say that. But 350 pounds, $350 for a pound of coffee beans is crazy to me. The Kopi Luwak is $160 a pound. Ospina Dynasty is $150 a pound. El Salvador Santa Ana is $135 a pound. And then do you want to guess where 6 and 7 might be from?
I feel like one of those 2 is Jamaican Blue Mountain Coffee.
It is. The brand is called Jamaica Blue Wallingford, and it is from the mountains of Jamaica.
Clearly.
It's $100 a pound.
I was about to say, I know, so my 2 guesses were going to be Jamaican Blue Mountain Coffee because I know it's expensive. I didn't know I didn't know that this list was going to break the $1,000 mark on some of these, because I was like, because the two that I thought of were Jamaican, and then my Kona coffee was super expensive in Hawaii. Those were the two that I was going to guess. Is it number 7?
Number 7, the Peaberry Hawaiian Kona at $88 a pound.
Yeah, I was about to say I bought a pound of coffee when we were in Kona, and it was like $90. So that's where my head was at when we were doing this, but not $1,000. The fact that I got the Indonesian one correct, I feel really good about that, because I mean, coffee, clearly a lot of places in South America, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know Thailand even made coffee, to be honest with you.
Apparently the best.
Yeah, a lot of places in Africa, a lot of places in South America. But yeah, maybe it's expensive because it's a luxury. That was a crap top 5. Next week's is going to suck for you. It's going to be my top 5, like, favorite underwear brands or something that I wear. Brandon's favorite. And I'm going to make an absurd list. All right, so that makes the score 6-2.
We're catching up.
With Rick could technically take the lead next week if Rick goes 5 for 5. So I won't make it too difficult, but I'm not going to make it as easy as last week's, because I thought last week's was easy. I feel like you just fucked up.
Yeah, I just got out of rhythm on that one.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan at 3 for off the bat really messed Rick up with.
I lost my balance completely after that.
All right, so the wide world of sports, our final subject.
The whole one.
Yes, all of it, because all of my things happened in America this week. Actually,
yep, same.
I'll make one of yours. What's one of yours? I have the best one, so I will go last with this. The one that I have will be last. One of them, but go ahead.
Okay. I was going to bring up we actually talked about it off air, but the New York Liberty winning their first WNBA championship for their franchise.
Yes.
Congratulations. Great nail biter of a game, went to OT. I mean, you can't ask for much more out of a championship game. So this was really significant because it's their first one in franchise history. But do you know how many times they've been to the championship?
6.
This was the 6th.
I watched the game last night.
Yeah. So, big deal. Congratulations to them. And then Jonquel Jones named MVP. Do you want to guess what she averaged over the series? Or do you already know?
I think I know. This is the girl that didn't play well, but she scored like 16 last night or something, right?
Yeah, she had a good game last night, too, to help set him over.
Oh, what'd she average for the series?
She averaged 17.8 points per game.
Okay.
7.6 rebounds a game. 2.2 assists per game. And shot 56% from the field and 100% from the free throw line.
That's awesome.
She made 19 free throws in the series. Just perfect. Knocked them all down.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of that big girl that was averaging. I was thinking of player of the game, not MVP of the series.
Oh.
She averaged like 2.8 points the entire playoffs and went off for like 16 last night.
Yeah, Salisbury or Salisbury, something like that. Starts with an S.
But it was awesome. It's really cool. There's a dangerous duo in Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu being in New York, and I feel like they're going to be nothing to mess around with in the upcoming seasons. The sad thing is, so this game went into overtime for everybody that didn't watch it, and I watched the fourth quarter in overtime, and it was a back and forth game clearly because it was tied at the end of it. Sabrina went like 1 for 19 or 20 yesterday with 5 points. She doesn't do that often at all. Breanna Stewart down the line with 33.4 seconds left missed 2 free throws to pretty much seal the game. That doesn't happen often. They mesh together. You know, this is their second season together. They mesh 2 more years or something together, or even just practicing in the offseason this year. They're going to be dangerous together, bro. They're going to be absolutely dangerous.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, like you said, it doesn't happen often. that Sabrina gets really shut down the way she did last night. But when you have other players like Jones popping up and really just working for their team, excuse me, when your best players get locked up or the defense starts focusing on them, it really comes down to who has the better role players and people that are willing to come in and just kind of let their moment shine. And so, yeah, no, kudos to them. Huge win. Um, Celebrate, parades, party in the streets.
Yeah, all of the above. Do that.
What do you got?
So, is that your only sport?
I have one other thing.
Okay. So, one of mine, we talk about college football on here. The only good game is number 8 LSU plays number 14 Texas A&M. Other than that, there's one more ranked v ranked game, Notre Dame versus Navy. We'll see how that hopes out. Rick and I are hoping Navy pulls that out so Navy and Army can play when they play and they'll be ranked, because that'll be a huge time. First time since the 60s that both those teams have been ranked at the same time. Number 8 LSU at Texas A&M. I think it's at Texas A&M at College Station. I don't think that matters, to be quite honest. Now, we were wrong last week with our Georgia pick. Georgia went into freaking Austin and destroyed Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Alabama lost to Tennessee, which is great. Almost diminished Alabama's hopes of making the playoffs unless they win the SEC championship somehow, but I don't think they will. They can't now because there's not two sides. There's only one side of the SEC now. It's all one bracket, and the top 2 teams play.
Yeah, I don't see them winning the SEC. And huge win for Tennessee. Go Vols, baby.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. But secondly,
Brandon's alignment might collide.
The World Series starts. The New York Mets ruined my hopes and dreams of a Subway Series that I was so highly anticipating. I feel like the all of America besides California was wanting and Rick a Subway Series thing. Do the Dodgers match up to the Yankees better? Of course they do. But the same thing as dreaming with Joe Carter hitting a walk-off home run. Who doesn't want to see a city v city rivalry for the championship? It would be an awesome thing. They could literally take the subway to each other's stadiums. It's Queens and the Bronx. Like, that would have been amazing. Dodgers play the Yankees. I think the Yankees take it in 5 games. I think it goes 4-1 Yankees. Because the Dodgers are great, and so are the Yankees. The Dodgers do not have the pitching that they've had in the past. And so they're very bullpen heavy reliant. And I don't think that works well for them versus the Yankees, because I think the Yankees bats are just going to destroy. And did you hear the fun fact about the sweaters that the Yankees are wearing? So the Yankees, back when they were winning, every other World Series in the 90s and then the 2 in 2000. All the old players, Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, people like that, they would wear the long sleeve shirt with the Yankee turtleneck and the tiny little New York on the side. A lot of players this year have opted to wear that kind of as a throwback legacy to those guys. And it's cotton, just like it was back then. They're not wearing like a Under Armour mesh version of it. They're wearing like the cotton long sleeve. What are you laughing at?
I don't know if any of our viewers were Seinfeld watchers, but the episode where George Costanza.
So that's what I'm getting to.
The cotton.
So George Costanza recommended the cotton, right? And the Yankees wear it in the 90s. And so thanks to Seinfeld for that. But so a lot of these Yankees players now are wearing the cotton as one, like, pay homage to the great players in the 90s. But these turtlenecks they're wearing are from the 90s. They found them in a storage unit under Yankee Stadium. So when they moved from old Yankee Stadium to the new one, like storage stuff just got moved probably in the storage stuff that it was in. And they found a storage unit with cotton, whatever brand they are, Champion, Nike, whatever, from the 90s. And players are actually wearing 1990s the cotton turtlenecks for the Yankees in 2024, which I think is pretty cool.
That is awesome. awesome. That they clearly found the old good luck.
Yeah. And what's your last sports thing? Because I have a last one that is going last.
So for those of us that have paid any attention to hang on, I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull it up because I can't remember their name and I didn't write it down because I'm ill prepared and a terrible host. But the guy that is the head coach
for what sport? Tennis, golf, basketball, baseball, football?
Football.
Okay.
Football. The coach that came out to the press conference that was like, if you don't know who I am, Google me, I win.
Oh, yeah. He's the
Illinois
Illinois head coach. He's the Illinois head coach.
Illinois, and like, I can't root for another Big Ten team, but I'm so glad that one.
But you can root for a Big Ten coach.
Team up north. Yes. They just beat that team up north to knock them out of the top 25. And I am just loving the energy this guy is bringing to a school that hasn't really been football relevant in a long time. And no joke, I Googled him.
He wins. He wins. He doesn't do anything. I think he coached at either like Northwestern or James Madison or something before this. And
he's coached at like 3 places,
and he just wins.
Really did like turn all those programs around.
Yeah, he just wins. I love it. I love the confidence and the attitude he brings. Like the Big Ten is always
Google me.
Yeah, you think of Big Ten, you think of Ohio State and the team up north, right? And nobody else really. Like
Joe Pa and Penn State for a while.
Yeah, but Penn State always knows how to choke in the end. So you think of those 3 schools and you don't think of a lot of others. And this guy's bringing Illinois on the map, and that's awesome. You need more of that, especially in the days of the NIL deals where you can just buy players at this point. Like, if somebody's
the transfer portal's going to hit hard.
Yeah, if somebody's like, hey, man, why don't you come play at Penn State? And then I'm like, oh, what do you offer? Oh, we're, finish 3rd or 4th every year, all of that. And then Illinois is like, oh, we also finish 3rd or 4th every year. But the coach has the swagger of fucking Michael Jackson. Like, I'm going to Illinois. Like, Google me, son. Yeah, we win. Google me. Anytime somebody's just like, Google me. Yeah, you're like, all right, he fucks. We're ready to go. All right, my last lovely news. It's a week late. We were supposed to talk about it on the last podcast. So,
that's right.
So, if you're listening this far, Dalton and Tommy, I want you to comment under our YouTube channel, because Dalton, I know you watched last week's on YouTube, which team you play for. But in the wide world of Ultimate Frisbee, the Pinky Toes played the Zabs. I have it from an inside source that the Zabs won 15-13. But I have it from another inside source that says the Pinky Toes were down 12-8 at one point and came back to make it 13-15. And that inside source said they played a good game. But for me to tell that inside source, just look at the scoreboard. You still lost. So will we get another Pinky Toes Zabs rematch in the tournament this year? I don't know. Stay tuned. If you don't know who the Pinky Toes and the Zabs are, you can go down to our YouTube channel and look at a very old podcast ago that doesn't exist except on YouTube and only some recordings, but I'm pretty sure this one's on there. You can look at our buddy Tommy and look at our buddy Dalton and figure out just by looking at them. Don't even listen to the audio. Let us know which one you think plays for which. That would be a good thing to figure out. But that's all the sports I have. Go Zabs is all I got to say to that. The Pinky Toes, they struggled yet again. Came up short, just like the Pinky Toe.
That little piggy should have stayed home.
Yeah, shouldn't have gone to the market, baby. Zab was waiting. Anyway, Richard, anything else?
That's all I got, man.
All right. Everybody, thank you for listening. I am Brandon, and my co-host over here, the Professor Dumbledore to my Professor McGonagall, is Rick. If you like what you see, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for way more fun, some fun shorts, all of the above. We have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a TikTok. They are all at Slams Fist Fact. We don't really use the Twitter that much. I tweeted one thing a couple months ago. We're very active on Instagram, very active on TikTok. Message us, like us, follow us. If you have any comments or something you want to see on the podcast, hell, if you want to be on the podcast, if you're interesting enough, tell us. You can also send us an email at slamsfistfact@gmail.com. But anyway, next week, we will not have one because I will be in the UK. So we'll go on.
Updating our socials vigorously.
Yes, I will be updating the socials. We will be active on there. We won't be active on the podcast, but that's okay. Because we'll talk another episode that Rick gets to pick the current event and I get to pick the lovely top 5 that happens next week. It'll definitely be a doozy. I'll go ahead and throw that out there. But anyway, for all of you slammers and one fister out there, thank you so much for listening. We love you all, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.